So the Destiny 2 beta is in full swing if you pre-ordered it on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. However, the open beta is coming up this Friday, July 21st through the 23rd. In this video, we're going to go over all the things you need to know and must do to get the most out of this beta. So if you're a seasoned Destiny player, you'll get some things out of here, but you know what? Let's backtrack. You know what? There's a lot of people who have never played this franchise before, and they'll get that opportunity when the open beta hits this Friday on the 21st. So let's just backtrack a little bit. What is Destiny 2? Destiny 2, in a nutshell, is a first-person looter shooter, and I like to kind of comprise it of two factors. We have PvP, competitive multiplayer, and then PvE. Now, even though Destiny 2 is a sequel, it is a hard reset. You don't have to go back and play Destiny 1 to understand what's going on. Now, you can also say that Destiny 2, even though it's a first-person shooter, it also has some MMO and RPG elements to it, but at its core, it is a first-person shooter, and it's all about the loot. And that loot is going to come from everything in the game, whether it's PvP, whether it's the story, whether it's patrols, whether it's adventures. Too much to discuss in this video, you're going to find that out yourself, but let's go through what's most important. And when I'm talking about looter shooter, I mean like things like weapons, armor, there's legendary weapons, legendary armor, there's exotic weapons, exotic armor, and in the beta, you'll be able to play with some of those exotics and legendaries. Now, when you log into the Destiny 2 beta, you have three characters to choose from. There's the Warlock, there's the Hunter, then there's the Titan. Which one should you choose? Which one is the best? I am not answering that question. To get the most out of this Destiny 2 beta, play on all three. You never know which one you're going to like the best. I know which one I like the best, but I'm not telling you. Only my fans in the comment section, they'll tell you which one I like the best. Now, on also each one of those characters, they have unique skills, grenades, jumps, all types of different things. That's why I'm saying try them all out. But then also on each class, you have what's called subclasses. Now, in the categories, we have Arc, Void, Solar, so forth. Play around with them. Figure out which one is best for you and your playstyle. For me personally, all right, I'll go out and say, I like the Warlock Dawnblade. That's my favorite. I was a Warlock in Destiny 1, and I'm digging the Warlock in Destiny 2. However, the Arc Strider is a ton of fun, and so is the Sentinel Titan. So once you pick a character, the first thing you should do is play the story mission, Homecoming. This is one of the opening story missions, and I say do this first because if you're new to the game, this is going to give you an idea of how the mechanics work, how the shooting is, how the jumping is. You want to adjust your sensitivities and so forth. And also go through whichever subclass you choose on that character. Play around with the different jumps, play around with the different grenades, see what works best for you and what you enjoy. Another reason why you want to play this is because Homecoming is going to kind of set the tone of how Bungie is going to be storytelling in Destiny 2, whether it's through cutscenes, whether it's through voiceovers or dialogue. This is kind of a just a little taste of how Bungie is going to tell the story of Destiny 2. Next up, there's a strike called the Inverted Spire. Now, strikes. What are strikes? Strikes are three-player cooperative activities that usually involve you going through some sort of narrative type thing and then ends up with a nice final boss kill and usually some loot that will drop at the end, be it armor, weapons, etc. Now, Destiny is best experienced with friends, with playing with other people. In strikes and some of the other PvE and of course PvP activities, you will be match made. So if you jump into the strike, you'll be match made with two other Guardians. So you could choose to talk with them. There is a voice channel, so chat with them if you want. You might meet someone new. Hey, let's play some Destiny 2 beta for the rest of the week. Add me on PSN or Xbox and let's get this done. Also note, when you're doing the strike, this is going to be on Nessus. This is one of the 4 destinations. Take your time and wander around, experience it. Just go look around, enjoy the visuals, but also keep in mind, there's going to be open world exploration on all 4 of these destinations. So take a look around, you might see some secrets or find some things. Next up, let's talk about competitive multiplayer, the Crucible. The Destiny 2 beta is going to have 2 different game modes. One is called Control, and a new mode is called Countdown. I say new because Control, we had that in Destiny 1. Countdown is the new one for Destiny 2. Now, the Crucible is always going to be 4 players versus 4 players. So when you jump in there, if you're by yourself, you will be match made. Now, Control, let's talk about that. It's basically like domination from Call of Duty. There's going to be 3 zones, A, B, and C. The more flags you hold, and when you get a kill, the more points you get. So if you have one flag and you get a kill, you get 1 point for your team. If you have 2 flags being held and you get a kill, that's 2 points. If you control all 3, and that's called a power play, every kill you get will be 3 points. Now, the other game mode is going to be brand new to Destiny, and in the Destiny 2 beta, we'll be able to play it, and it's called Countdown. This is more of an attack and defend type of game mode, very strategic. You're going to have different rounds, okay? One round, you're going to be attacking a base. One round, you're going to be defending a base. Now, let's go back into those classes. So each class, you've got 2 subclasses, and each one of those, you can go in there, you can fiddle around with the grenades, with your ability, and also your super. So each subclass has a specific super, and they all do different things. That's why I can't say one is better than the other. Make sure you play around with each subclass and each class in general. Now, you're also going to have a host of armor and also a host of weapons. So go through them all and take a look and feel which one you feel most comfortable with, whether it's in the Crucible playing PvP or just playing PvE. You might be a hand cannon person. You might be a pulse rifle person. You might be an auto rifle person. You have kinetic, power, and then you have also energy. Energy is your middle slot. Talk about that here for a second. So in your kinetic slot, they just fire bullets. When it comes to energy, that's going to shoot something with what's called an elemental burn. There's arc, solar, and void. And also the power weapons have those burns too. So you think of void, purple, you think solar, orange, and you think arc, kind of like a light bluish. What that means is that you're going to run into enemies with different types of resistances to your damage, right? So if you see an enemy that has kind of like orange stuff glaring around them, you might want to use an energy weapon that has a solar burn. On the Inverted Spire strike, you're going to run into these ugly dudes called Vex Minotaurs, and they have these purple shields around them. So if you have an energy weapon that has void burn on it, a little purple sign, that's going to take that shield down quicker than if you just shoot it with your kinetic weapon. Same thing with your power weapons. If you see something that is void all over or purple all over it, and you have a void heavy sniper or maybe a grenade launcher, use that void to take down that shield, take down that enemy faster. Lastly, let's talk about armor. So we have resilience, mobility, and recovery. Resilience is the amount of damage you can take, mobility is how fast you are, and recovery is when you take damage, how fast your health and shield comes back. So as you're playing the strikes, and also, well, if you play the strike over and over, you're going to get loot drops pretty much every time. But you're also going to get drops from PvP. That's where a bunch of my weapons came from. But here, let's take a look. I have 2 different types of gloves here, right? So if I go into this glove right here, I could either put on mobility or I could put on resilience. So for me, I want a little bit more armor. I'm going to go with resilience. It's going to bump that up a number. These gloves here, if I compare them, this one's all about mobility. This is going to make me faster. So you got to kind of mix and match. For me personally, I like to have as much resilience as I can. So I'm going to keep playing the game, playing the strike over and over, and playing PvP. So hopefully I can get some armor drops that also will make this resilience go up. So that is going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you found this helpful, especially if you're a new player and new to the Destiny franchise. Remember, the Destiny 2 beta will be open to everyone on PS4 and Xbox this Friday, the 21st. So that's it, guys. You know, I always say at the end, do me a favor, drop a like in this video, only if you see fit. Follow me on the Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube, and that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.